Hey everyone, this is Nick with another free site review, and this review is for Kathy. Kathy sent me an email, and so I'm going to review her site today. And her website is computertechnician.net. In her email, she mentioned that she would like to rank for the word or the phrase computer technician. So she's got computertechnician.net. That's great. It's got your keywords and nothing else. In your domain, ideally you'd have the .com, but I bet it was taken. So .net is a great alternative. Also, looking up here at your title tag, you've got computer technician, and then you have search 90 plus online computer technician programs, and so you've got your keyword twice in your title tag. So that looks pretty good. Good job there. Moving on, your headline is an H1 tag. I did a quick check, and you've got computer technician in your H1, and then this is a blog, and so each post has the title to the post in an H2 tag, and so that's all in order, and you've got your keyword kind of interspersed throughout your page. So I mean, in terms of search engine optimization, things look pretty good. Let's see, moving on to layout and design. Layout and design is an important component of getting traffic, and it's a little bit hard to read, and you could probably fix this easily with just a few CSS tweaks. If I scroll down, I just see very dense blocks of text, and it's not really conducive to easy reading. If I'm going to sit here and go through all of these, I think my eyes are going to glaze over, and it's just not very fun. And so people aren't going to spend a lot of time at your website, which means they're less likely to come back. They're not going to tell their friends, and that sort of thing. For example, or an example of something that's a little bit easier to read, here's one of my blog posts. Let me scroll down, and you can see that the text is a little bit bigger, I think, and I picked a slightly different font, and then the spacing between lines in a paragraph, there's an extra little bit of space, which makes reading easier. And then spacing between two paragraphs, there's an extra large space between paragraphs, which makes scanning easier. And we have subheadlines like this, which are a little bit bigger, and so you can just kind of skim, and it just makes it easier to read. So consider making your font a little bit bigger, adding a little spacing between lines, and then adding an extra space between paragraphs, and then maybe having subheadlines, like you have one for each state. There's California, and here's Colorado, and here's Connecticut. Having those be maybe a little bit bigger, so people can just quickly scan. That would make it a little bit easier to read. Also, I do like that you have the links within the page. So if I want to go to Colorado, I can click that, and then if I'm done with Colorado, I can just click top. So I do really like that. That's quite nice. And the website is just a little bit, the style is a little bit outdated. I don't want to be too critical, because as I said in other reviews, I'm a terrible designer. But your website looks a little bit dated, and so maybe consider sprucing it up a little bit and going with a little bit newer design. If you're using WordPress, there are lots of free templates out there, or themes, that look pretty good. So I would consider doing that. Looking at this, you have your recent posts, which is always a good thing. But also, if you have lots of posts, consider putting your top posts or your most popular posts here in the sidebar. So one thing I like to do is put in my sidebar the top commented posts. So you can see I have, here's the top commented this month, and then the top 10 commented all time. And so when people are done with an article, sometimes they'll just skim your sidebar on the left or right side to see what else they should look at. And so if you're trying to get more people to your blog, then that's something you want to do. And maybe you don't. Maybe you just really want to drive people to this particular post, and so that won't be as helpful. So it really depends on what your goal is. Also, I don't see, just glancing offhand, I don't see a search feature. So going back to mine, you can see at the top I have a search feature. So if you don't find what you're looking for right away just by glancing around the page, you can do a quick search. So most blogging engines support doing something like that. Moving on, I don't see any Twitter or other social media integration. So just using my site as an example, I have a big Twitter badge right here which links to my Twitter account. So maybe you probably want to do more than just put up a static page about computer technician or computer technician schools. You want to do more than that, because lots of people can do that, but maybe become the expert in computer technician schools. So whenever there's something in the news, you can use Google Alerts to notify you about news about different computer technician schools, or different programs they're offering, or scholarships that are available, or government grants or other grants that are available for people attending computer technician schools, or hey, this is the new software or the new type of AutoCAD software or whatever that these schools are using. There's lots of different things you could do to really enrich your site and enrich your users or your visitors' experience, because you want to give people a reason to come back. Because like I said before, anyone can just throw up a computer technician school, and I can see you probably put a lot of time and effort into doing this, but the sad thing is anyone can come and just copy what you've done. And so what you want to do is build a community where you're an expert, you're an authority on this particular topic. So I would highly recommend doing something like that to really set you apart from any other computer technician website. And then lastly, I don't see a way to subscribe to you for RSS. I don't see an RSS badge or a button or an invitation to subscribe. So on my website, you can see right here at the top, I've got a big orange badge. It's kind of big and loud, and it gets people's attention, but I think it helps me get more subscribers. So consider doing something like that. And I think that concludes this review for Computer Technician. If you want, for those of you watching, if you want a free site review from me, Nick Stewart, just go to nickstraffictricks.com and click right here, free site review.